My background goes back to the domain of cybersecurity, and I was always trying to apply AI to try and solve our problems in cybersecurity, trying to detect the bad guys. And after a while, I realized that AI can actually be used and abused by adversaries. So then I started pivoting my work into understanding how adversaries can use these technologies for malicious purposes, as well as trying to protect the innocent and the society against these kinds of attacks. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, and I moved here when I was about 18 years old. My master's and my PhD was done in Ben-Gurion University, and I did my postdoc at Georgia Tech for several years. And then I found out about the Zuckerman Faculty Scholar Program, and I applied, and I found out this is a phenomenal way for me to be able to build up my lab. So when I started as a Zuckerman Faculty Scholar here at Ben-Gurion University, I founded the Offensive AI Research Lab. What we do is we look into all kinds of attacks against AI and attacks using AI. And one of the most popular attacks using AI is something called deepfakes. Deepfakes are those cases where you see on the internet where you see Nicolas Cage's face on another celebrity. But in truth, deepfakes can be used for very malicious purposes, for defamation, humiliation, and blackmailing. For example, using deepfakes to generate potential lesions in medical scans to extract some sort of quality of life insurance. That's one kind of thing that we're looking into, and we're doing a collaboration with the EU to try to develop tools to detect those kinds of attacks on MRIs, on CT scanners. Another good example is fingerprints. Just from the template of the fingerprint, which is the basic thing that's stored, not the actual image of the fingerprint, you can generate that fingerprint and use AI to then create a hyper-realistic version that you can print out and gain access to all those areas. So one of the works that we're doing with the Israeli National Cyber Directorate is to develop tools to protect those databases. Another good example of deepfakes is the threat of real-time deepfakes. That means adversaries can now call you up on the phone using somebody else's voice and fool you into doing something. There are cases of deepfake bank heists. In 2021 was the first case where that happened. Somebody stole a director's voice and then called up the bank asking them to transfer money using the director's voice, and they believed him and they transferred the money. So one of the things that we're doing is that we've developed a kind of a CAPTCHA, but for deepfakes. And we're not testing how well an AI can interpret content, but rather how well an AI can generate content, and specifically somebody's face or somebody's voice. And we test whether or not they're a deepfake by doing something that's so easy for a human to do, for example, like pressing on their cheek or standing up and turning around or talking in a certain way, but it's incredibly hard for these deepfake technologies to perform. Another concerning issue is that if you have an AI system inside an autonomous vehicle helping that vehicle navigate, an adversary can try and put a sticker on a stop sign to get that car to drive through an intersection or not see a pedestrian, all kinds of things that can confuse the model and cause it to misbehave. So one of the things that we're doing with the Israeli National Cyber Directorate and in partnership with Google is we're building a platform that does all this testing and checking automatically. Anybody can upload their model and we'll be able to check and look for all the different vulnerabilities and then suggest ways to make those models safer. So one of the unique things that we do in our lab is that we try to find solutions to all these attacks against AI, using AI, that are out of the box. And one of the things that really helps being here in Ben-Gurion University in Beersheba is that we're in an ecosystem between academia, which is the university, high-tech, we have a high-tech park right here next to the university, and the government. There's a military base where all the technological units are situated, and we do a lot of collaborations with them, trying to think about what is going to be the next attack. And by always think about what the next attack is, you can be more proactive. And in a proactive arms race, you're always going to be on the winning side because you can always try to anticipate and prevent the attack before it happens.